Dear me.
Let's, shall we bring on Mr. your mate on the...
You mean the greatest drummer in the world?
You think he's the greatest drummer in the world?
Without a doubt.
Without a single shot of a doubt.
There is no doubt about it. That's one of the few things that I would say, and dare anyone to challenge me on.
Right.
Because I saw him once at the Apollo Theater. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was his right hand. It was in a sling. He'd broken it. It was like this. He played all of his solos. You know, and a lot of drummers, and many great drummers who went with two basses, bass drums and all that, played the entire show and his solos with one hand. But when it opened up, in those days, he used to do a number where he would open up behind the curtain, and at a given, like after 16 bars, the curtain would slowly rise, and the voiceover would say, "And now, ladies and gentlemen, Buddy Rich and his band." So when the Apollo Theater was a black theater in Harlem, and where we all got our roots from, man. We all had to play there, and if you were accepted there, you'd be accepted anywhere in the world. So here's what happened. Here's what you heard, and I'm going to try to simulate it. You heard... And the guy said, "Ladies and gentlemen, Buddy Rich and his orchestra." And the curtain went up, and they saw him playing, and they saw this hand in a sling. It was literally in a sling like this, and they knew, the audience realized he was playing with one hand. And pandemonium. And he couldn't have been through the first 20 minutes of the show before he hit all over the music business. I really mean it. It's the most I happened to have been in that audience that particular day.
Let's meet the man himself, shall we? Couldn't have had a better introduction from you, Sammy Davis. Mr. Buddy Rich.
Yeah.
Well, the fact is, you play better with one hand, don't you, Buddy?
The fact is that when Sammy was just explaining that I was doing all of that, I wasn't actually playing. I was actually going.
I must clear one thing up, actually, because
Sure.
the last time you came on my show, you hit the headlines by making an assault, some thought unfairly, on the Osmond family.
Who?
You said, Mr. Rich, and were castigated in the music press for it. "I'd like to take that little Jimmy Osmond at it and stamp on his head," he said. Now, I want to know in the intervening 4 years if you feel any differently toward the Osmonds.
Well, the one that I said I wanted to stomp on the head turned out to be Marie.
You want to sit over here?
What do you think, Sam?
Well, see,
Oh,
we're both
hello,
wearing we're both wearing stripes, and I don't want him to get me confused with you.
That's nice. That's a friend.
That's a friend.
That's a friend. That's a friend.
What are friends for, man?
Listen, I like them. I like them very much.
You do?
I have very bad taste.
Have your views mellowed toward the pop business since we last met?
I think so.
They have.
Yes.
How would you describe them now?
Garbage.
May I just add that this man, see, whether you agree with him or not is not the point, but the fact that he has remained honest. All of his life, he's been the same man. And, you know, somebody would say something to Tommy Dorsey, from what I hear, you know, they would say something and he'd say, "I thought his solo stunk," you know. But he never, you know, unsolicited, never would voice a comment. But if you ask him, you're going to get the honest answer of all time.
I know.
There ain't going to be none of this here, you know. Oh, man.
Has it ever landed you in trouble, being honest? I mean, have you ever been assaulted by a fellow artist?
No, not really, except about 2 years ago we were playing in Nashville, Tennessee, which you may know
I do.
is the home of country music. And our opening night we were interviewed, and they asked me what I thought about particular people in the country music, and I told them what I thought.
What do you think?
What?
What do you think?
Do you want to continue on this show?
Please, yes.
I don't think I can actually say what I said, but in essence, I didn't think it was too thrilling. And the next day, the main paper in Nashville, which is the Nashville Banner, suggested that I leave in no uncertain terms. And opening night, the owner of the nightclub had received some threats that there would be a bomb placed underneath the bandstand. But of course, it never happened.
Yeah.
But people have taken certain offense at things I've said.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, I feel it's their problem, not mine. If you ask me, excuse me, if you ask me, I have to think first whether it's proper and whether I firmly believe what I feel. And if I do, I'll tell you about it. Otherwise, I'll just keep my mouth shut.
Have you actually, look at the two of you now, it's quite extraordinary. Between you, I was totting up today, you're not 1 year off, but you've done, between you, 105 years in show business.
Sammy,
Buddy.
I'm only 32.
Well, you have, because you were a child star like Sammy, weren't you?
Well, I was in my parents' vaudeville act very early in life.
Traps.
Traps,
Traps,
yes.
that's right. At the age of
2.
2.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And they used to bring me out of the finale of their act and stand me up behind a set of drums. And I played Stars and Stripes forever. Not actually forever, about 3 minutes. And I used to wear a sailor suit. I was really quite obnoxious. And as I grew up, of course, I don't wear a sailor suit any longer. Still obnoxious, but I think I'm having the best time of my life right now. I'm really enjoying myself, particularly with this genius over here. We did a performance last year at Radio City in New York, and it was one of the most exciting and most thrilling events of my life. And since then, subsequently, we played the Diplomat Hotel in Miami Beach, which I think was fairly successful.
It was one of, it's a joy to walk on the stage and just know that you're, to share an audience with somebody like, and the band, he's got the best band. And they're all young people, you know, and they're dying to play music.
Right.
Nobody's sitting up there bored, nobody's out of it and stoned and all of the preconceived ideas.
Sure.
That's one of the drags.
No, but I'm saying that right there, and for a, quote, jazz band, they can cut any chart of any act, because my stuff is, I'm in a commercial bag, and that's where I am, because that's what brought me to be important enough for the nice people on the tube to listen to and so forth. But they cut all my charts, and it was just a joy to work with the guys.
They're marvelous young musicians, and I think the musicians of today, particularly the young ones, have had a much greater musical education than in the past. And they're much more aware of the various kinds of music.
Yes.
And I'm very proud that the band can get up there and play for Sammy and do the professional job that I insist upon. And then we can go out and do our thing and be equally as proficient and have the fun that I have. I really enjoy playing. I think I'm having a better time playing today than I've ever had in my life.
You said insist upon there. You have, of course, got the reputation of being a disciplinarian, haven't you, with your bands?
Yes.
I mean, you insist upon what with them?
On perfection. I think that when an audience pays their money to come in and see whatever it is they're going to see, I think they deserve the very best that you can provide for them. And by... I think there's a lot of non-caring in, particularly at home in the States, where musicians are jaded and bored, and particularly when they have to play for another act. They like to play their music, and then when somebody else comes out, they kind of let down. And I insist that music is music, and you play it as well and as professionally as you possibly can, because the audience deserves it, and certainly the artist deserves your best at all times. And I think when you do that, the audience goes home with a feeling that they've really had a marvelous evening, they've never been cheated, and I feel that I've done my best, and I feel good at the end of that night.
Is it much of a problem, though? Because, I mean, both of you know about this. I mean, anybody who thinks about touring bands and this sort of thing, one thinks immediately of booze and drugs and all that sort of business. Do you insist that they don't drink, that they don't take drugs or whatever?
No, I insist that they drink, get stoned, and when you do the job,
That's the best. Bill,
I told you already, don't ask them nothing unless you want to know.
Bill would work for him now. Yeah.
No, I think that when you're playing, particularly the jobs that we do run maybe 2 hours an evening. That gives you 22 hours of the day to do it, whatever you like. So for the 2 hours that you work for me, I insist upon the absolute best that you can give me. And if you can't live up to those expectations, as far as I'm concerned, you shouldn't be on my band. And I'm very proud of the people that I have with me. Some of the people have been with me, an hour and a half. This band has been with me quite a long time, and I have some people that I'm totally proud of. And I think playing the Palladium with this gentleman is the second highlight of my life. The first, of course, was being invited to play for the royal family several years ago at the Palladium, which was a total gas to me. It was just marvelous. And to come back here and play the Palladium again with this genius is the culmination of my whole career. It's just marvelous.
But I got to just say something. That's kind of him to say, and it's not just, we're not blowing smoke. At least I know he doesn't blow smoke up nobody's nose, and I'm learning not, and I'm learning not to. No, I'm trying, because you play the game, man.
In that case, I have a smoke.
No, but we have such fun. I look at Buddy. I swear to God, this is the God's honest truth. I look at Buddy sometimes, and I make sure that I catch at least a portion of whatever he's doing. I get my thing from him. He'll come in the wings, he'll edge me on. There's a mutual admiration society and the love of performing for people. Because his whole idea about what this band should be is what we learned as individual performers, as kids. You get there on time, you keep your outfit clean, make sure you're neat, go out there and give that audience the best. That don't mean everybody's going to like you. But at least you can get off the stage saying, I can't do anymore because I did the best I know how to do.
Exactly.
And anything that interferes with that, Michael, I don't care what the diversification may be, whether it's drugs, whiskey, staying up late, watching movies, or whatever. If it starts to affect my throat and I walk out and I do a sluggish show for people who have saved up their money, then I'm wrong.
Absolutely.
And this man has done it in the band business. Because it ain't lackadaisical. Those kids are there, and they take it, and they're proud to be a part of an organization like Buddies. And I'm proud, talking about the Palladium.
It's really great.
But you both had to pull back, though, haven't you, because of various illness and things. I mean, you in your life, you've had to take stock, haven't you, and say, look, it's wrong, it's going, and
20, 30 times. I really have. But,
Really?
But I admitted, the only thing about illness are people who try to burn the candle in every way they possibly can. And I lived that lifestyle. And it was great fun, and I thought I would never become 40, forget 50. I thought I would never become 40 years old. So I said, whoopee, let's have a party. And then the one thing that shook me up, and now I know it's going to sound show businessy, but it's God's honest truth. The one thing that shook me up was when I couldn't go on the stage and do the job that I had been doing for 35 years to the best of my ability, that pulls you up. There is no more playing no games, because that's been your life. See, that's been my mistress, my wife, my everything. With due respects to the ladies that I've known all of my life, it's been my closest friend, going out saying, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody denies me of that, and particularly if I find out I'm denying myself of that pleasure, because that ain't no job to me. It's a job, but it's love, man. It really is love. You can taste it, you can smell it, and that's important.
I don't think there's any other thrill in life as the thrill you get from the response from the audience when you think that you've done the proper job, and when they receive you and they let you know that they're enjoying it. That's better than anything I can think of. It's the perspiration and the tiredness. That all goes out the window. It's all a matter of knowing that you try to entertain the people, and if they let you know that they did have a good time, that's it. There's nothing better.
You float off the stage. Exactly. you don't walk off. You just float off, and you sit there, and the people, the friends, and the buddies come backstage to say how good you were and all of that, and you sit. But inside, there's a glow that's going on inside of you. It's the greatest high in the world. And talk about all the highs. That's the greatest high in the world.
That's true.
Would you like to go and get a high?
Yeah, and then I'd like to play after that.
Richard, we want you to play some drums.
Okay.
All right, sir?
Sure.
Mr. Rich, the drum kit is over there. Would you please, Mr. Buddy
yeah.
Rich? Mr. Buddy Rich.
Sit down for drums with me. This is completely ad lib, and I told Michael and Buddy that we'd do something, because there is a kind of a thing that I started doing based upon, I wanted to become a drummer based upon this gentleman, and he's given me sets, drum sets and everything else, and Michael said to me downstairs before the show, he said, "You going to play with Buddy? And I hear you may do something together. You going to play?" I said, "No. There are certain things I don't do after 40 years in this business. I don't dance with a stare. I don't sing with Ella Fitzgerald. And I do not play drums with Buddy Rich." There is no way. Nobody commits that kind of suicide. But maybe I can sing with Buddy. Give me something about here. Have you met Tallulah? That's from an old picture that Buddy did when he was still with Tommy Dorsey's band. With Eleanor Paul. Come on, give me the same tempo. Go ahead. Yeah, 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 yeah. I've got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me. So deep in my heart. You're really a part of me. I've got you under my skin. I have tried so not to give in. I said to myself this affair never would go so well. But darling, why should I resist when, baby, you know so well that I've got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near. In spite of that warning voice that comes in the night, says these words in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you never can win. Use your mentality, wake up to reality. But each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop before I begin. I've got you under my skin. Yeah, I've got you under my skin. Shaka chicka gong, chicka dicka dong, dicka gong, chicka gong, shaka ka gong. Speed Don't worry, I'm having it all taped. Yes, I've got you. Oh, I've got you. Yes, I've got you under my skin. Buddy Rich, ladies and gentlemen. And I got time to do one more. Okay. Mr. Rich. I thank the rhythm section for chiming in with us, but I don't want you to get the impression that was rehearsed, because everybody in this studio, and this is the Emmys, they all know that I did not rehearse one thing with Buddy, and he never sat behind the drums. And I want you folks at home to know this is how television started, without rehearsals and without that kind of jazz. We have just set television back 30 years. Who's at the piano? Who can I get there? Can I get George or somebody at the piano? George, are you here? George Rhodes, my conductor. Is the man here at all? Where is he? My conductor, ladies and gentlemen, George Rhodes. We might as well do a standard thing. For those of you who may be wondering what kind of a show that we're going to be doing at the Palladium, Buddy and I, it's very simple. We're going to do the things that I think that we're best noted for. Nobody's coming out experimenting. The things that have, thank the good Lord and nice people like yourself, have made good for us. It's put our careers where it is. And I think the day and age is, particularly for guys in our age bracket who've been around for a few years, and we enjoy it as much as we do. Yes, our age bracket. I can't help it. If you just don't show your age. You know how color guys show theirs, you know. I've wined and dined on mulligan stew. You'll hear songs like this. I've never wished for turkey. I've hitched and hiked and drifted too, from Maine to Albuquerque. Alas, I missed a Beaux-Arts ball, and what is twice as sad, I was never at a party where they honored Noel Coward. Social circles spin too fast for me. Here goes the set. My... What time does the show go on? What time can you get here, sir? About here. My whole Bohemia, that's the place I want to be. She gets too hungry for dinner at 8. She loves the theater but won't arrive late. She'll never argue with someone she hates. That's why the lady is a tramp. Won't go to Coney. Malibu is fine. Loves the French Riviera in season divine. Refuses to believe Muhammad Ali is a friend of mine. That's why the lady is a tramp. She likes that green grass under her shoes. Birth of the blues. She's flat, that's that. She's all alone when she lowers her lamp. And that's why the lady is a tramp. Sitting the lady is a tramp. Spotting out that's why the lady is a tramp. She likes that free, fresh wind in her hair. Her life's without care. She's flat, and that's that. She's all alone when she lowers her lamp. That's why the lady, that's why the lady, that's why the lady. Just answer me if you will. That's why the lady, that's why the lady, that's why the lady, together, that's why the lady, that's why the lady, I said the lady is a tramp. Who didn't know what the devil they were doing up here. But you played it for me. Thank you. Dun, 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 dun. Wow. Thank you. You're beautiful. Mr. Buddy Rich, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, man. Are you, I got to compliment your orchestra and your leader of your orchestra because for the guys to do that, to put themselves on the spot like that, I greatly appreciate it. But again, that shows with Buddy at the drums, George at the piano, and perhaps whatever contribution I made, the cats had, and they were getting into it. If you could have seen the looks of complete fear on their faces. I salute them.
Well, that's it, Mr. Davis, sir. We have come to the end of our time, unless you'd like to go out on another number or whatever you want. I mean, I'm not putting you on the spot.
No,
of course not. I wouldn't do a thing like that.
You wouldn't dare do a thing like put me on the spot,
I wouldn't
would
dream
you?
of doing no.
No,
I wouldn't.
of course not.
No. Then we'll close the show from up there.
You'll close the show from over here?
Yes.
Marvelous, super.
Thank you.
Notice how fancy I came up the stairs?
Yeah, I saw.
I learned some of them impersonating all those people. What about... But a diddle that buck, diddle that buck, diddle you that speed do that, beat it do that, speed do that, beat it do that, speed do that, beat it do that. But deal you did, speed you did, beat it do that, see do that, do that, see do that, do that, see do that, do that. Speed do that, see do that, I got the next break. See one more from Buddy. Go ahead, Bud. Did he leave me a space to come in any place? On behalf of Buddy Rich and yours truly, thank you for being a marvelous audience. Michael, thank you for the use of the hall, babe. My pleasure.
Sammy Davis Jr. and Buddy Rich appeared by arrangement with Robin Courage. Little bassy ending number one.